For our next lick, we're going to go back to Pat Hare, and I'm going to show you a couple Pat Hare licks that use the same kind of theme, the same idea, but are both really unique. The first one comes from his solo in James Cotton's Cotton Crop Blues, and the whole main lick is this diminished shape lick. He goes like this. Let me just play the whole thing. He kicks off the solo with this, which I think is just filthy. Into playing over the 4 for the solo. This is a good example of using some chords in your solo. So what we've got here, we're playing over the first position D bar chord, so the first position D blues box, and I'm making a diminished shape with my first finger on the 12th fret of the 4th string, my second finger on the 12th fret of the 2nd string, my ring finger on the 13th fret of the 3rd string, and my pinky on the 13th fret of the 1st string. And he starts out just playing. And what I'm doing is slightly bending as I play that. And so it's... Then he's going to take a first position 9th chord. He's going to go from an E 9th to an E flat 9th, D 9th. And all the while, his guitar heavily amplified and distorted. This just sounds evil when he plays this. It's awesome. And he does it again and then launches into his solo, which is one of my favorite beginnings of any electric blues solo. If you're really interested in this tune, I have a separate lesson just breaking down James Cotton's Cotton Crop Blues, and I go through all the licks that Pat Hare plays behind him on that. So there's another really cool lick, the tune. And he's got a lick like this. Something like that. So he uses this lick in the key of G. So now we've got a first position G bar chord, and I'm making that diminished lick with my first finger on the 5th fret of the 4th string, which is our G. So there's our G diminished. And again, he plays it loud and he bends. And then he does something like this into some kind of single string lick. I'll have it tabbed out for you. But it starts, I think, he's either starting from the 5th fret of the 4th string, or he just starts from the 3rd fret of the 3rd string. And he does one of these, where he goes 5-3 on the 1st string. And it's some typical Pat Hare stuff. I'll tab the whole thing out for you, the single string part. But what I'm most interested in here is the way he uses that chord. And actually the first phrase before that, he does the same thing and then plays like a little bass run thing. And I'll tab that out for you too, in case you're interested. So there's another cool idea, using the diminished chord as part of a solo. Pat Hare does this in James Cotton's Cotton Crop Blues. That's the first example we did. And then again, in his own I'm Gonna Murder My Baby. Okay, let's move on. Another cool lick that I kind of picked up on while randomly listening to these Sun blues recordings. It's from a tune called Lucy Done Moved. And the guy who does this, I can't remember his name right now, it's LC something. And he, of course, is not one of these guys you've heard of a whole lot. I'll put his name on the tab to make sure you know. But he has this tune, and he starts it out with this really swingy intro, which I think is just cool. And you could take this and use it as an intro, or you could use it as a lick, like as part of a solo or to kick off a solo. It goes like this, in B flat. So we're playing over the first position, B flat bar chord. That kind of thing. So what I'm doing in the B flat, I'm starting on the 8th fret of the 5th string, going 5, 8 on the 4th string. And then I've got this, where I'm just going from below into a B flat double stop, first finger on the 6th fret of the second string, second finger on the 7th fret of the 3rd string. That kind of lick. Then I'm going back to the 8th fret, 5th fret. So the whole thing. And he does it again. One more time. Then kicks in to the song. So just a neat idea, combining the bass lick with a swingy type chord slide. Just it sounds cool. I like it. And that is another idea. Now later in the song, he goes into this solo, which is really cool. And the song really swings, and he does a lot of cool guitar runs. But he does something like this. Something like that. I don't know if I played that exactly right, but he slides. So we're in B flat. Going to slide to the 13th fret of the 1st string, to the 11th fret. And I hear this going from the 9th to the 10th fret on the 1st string to the 11th fret of the 2nd string. So we got, which is kind of cool. And then we got, he's just walking over, playing right over a B flat chord, F shape, 6th fret, 1st string, 2nd fret, 6th string, to the 8th fret of the 3rd string. That's it, I think. I don't know if I played that right the first time, but I think that's what he does. And then he does, sounds like a double stop on the 3rd and 4th strings. I've got, you can do this a number of ways. Right here I've got my ring finger or 2nd finger on the 7th fret of the 3rd string, ring finger on the 8th fret of the 4th string. It's like another form. Here's a B flat double stop. That's also a B flat double stop. This one on the 2nd and 3rd strings, this one on the 3rd and 4th. So the whole thing so far. Twice. And he does one of these kind of beboppy licks, going from the 6th to the 7th on the 3rd string, 6, 8 on the 2nd string, 6th fret of the 1st string, 9th fret of the 2nd string, 6, 8 on the 2nd string. So the whole thing. Let's put the whole lick together. Really neat, and it's kind of a unique thing the way he slides down there up the neck and then comes back into the 1st position blues box. It adds variety. Rather than just playing the whole solo in the 1st position blues box, he goes to the high notes and then brings it back, which I think is kind of cool. Again, both those 2 licks we did there are from a tune by some guy named LC. I'll write it on the tab. I just can't remember right now. And it's this. The song is called "Lucy Done Moved," and I heard it on the 3rd volume of the Sun Records Blues Years CDs.